Welcome to Rokk Around the Clock, Google Stadia news and gameplay live at the same time every day, Monday to Friday. Every day we check out the latest Stadia news across the internet live, closing with Stadia gameplay and chat with your host Rokk and occasional guests. But first, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss out on the latest Stadia news. If you'd like to support my content, please consider joining Team Rokk by hitting the join button on this page. Yo ho ho! It's not even Pirate Day yet, is it? I just kind of felt piratey. I was just listening to Rock's little voice there. He sounds so desperate. Please, sir, please like my videos and subscribe to me. Oh, I wanted to give him a cuddle. How are you guys? It's the middle of the week. We've got some music going on here. Let me just give it some volume. If you listen, it's quite clever. When I talk, it shuts up. And then it comes back again. How are you guys? Listen, I missed you. I am so sorry because this is the first time we've been together since last Friday. Monday, the UK was closed down on Monday. We were done with, and that was the end of it. So I know some people streamed on Monday, but I didn't think it was the thing to do, if I'm honest. Tuesday, of course, Stadia Rokk Show. What a cracker we had. We're going to go over a lot of what we actually covered in that show, because, it's happened over the last 24 hours-ish, maybe, within the last couple of minutes. So we're just inside. Look at all you lovely folk in the chat. So good to see ya. Oh, no, actually, the first person in the chat was Nerd's World, but I don't have his message. I can't put it up on the stream because I didn't have it all set up at the time. But then after Rokk, that was me. Tally came in. Good to see you, Tally. Hey, with the monkeys. Good to see you, dude. And he was ready. We're all ready for that special Stadia goodness. Yeah, it's a great one today. Absolutely fantastic. We've got loads of stuff to cover off, so keep your powder dry and your fingers stiff, or whatever it is that one does. Stefan, how are you, my friend? Stefan pops in as well. What's up, everyone? Good to see you, my friend. Thank you very much for popping in. Really appreciate that. And there's Kumnar. Give him a wave, everybody. Hi, Kumnar. And look at that. Another fantastic Team Rokk member. I was totting them all up this afternoon, getting ready for the big prize draw on Friday, as I do. And we're up to nearly 50 folks. That's absolutely unbelievable. And don't tell little David Wilson and his dog Bear, though, because I did say to him I'd do something special for the 50th member. So don't let him know. He's not here at the moment. It's all going to be good. Caseball UK, how are you, dude? Thanks for popping in. And Tally says, actually, we just missed Talk Like a Pirate Day, September 19th. Oh, wowzer. Yeah, it was just a couple of days ago. Struth, look at that, 3 days ago. Now, what made me think? Oh, I remember. I was watching, what's it called? To Boldly Go, or Where No Man's Been Before, whatever it's called. The one with Captain Pike. And there's an episode where there are pirates, and at the end of it, he's going, har, har, talking like a pirate. And it made me think of it all. Winstar, good to see you, dude. How are you, buddy? Thanks for popping in. Pete Plays with the little putty tat. Afternoon, my friend. Thank you for popping in. Great to see all you guys. I thought what we would do today is we now know what the October games are going to be. That's unprecedented. I was trying to work out, because we're going to have another, well, I suppose arguably we may not have a twos next Tuesday. Yeah, and then the 1st of October would be the Saturday. So yeah, I guess this was probably the earliest, if it makes sense. They could have come up with another one, of course, next week, but they didn't. So it was to our advantage. So yeah, we know what the October games are. That caught us out, I'll be honest, because we hadn't even thought, we hadn't done the maths. We hadn't worked that was very likely to be the day. So, but that's all good. I thought what we do, excuse me, we'd have a look at trailers for all the games coming, because there's some great ones. Honestly, some really, really good games to look forward to. So young Jeff is in the house. Good afternoon. Oh, and look, it's Ant as well. Okay, I'm in the building, Rokk, and you don't have to hide your wife, woman, and children today. My wife, woman. Yes, she is a woman, that's quite correct. And Jeff is also in the house. How are you, Jeff? Jeff, newly crowned praisee of Stadia Rokk Show yesterday, Jeff. I hope you wound it back and watched it. I know you're a humble man, and you probably felt a little bit embarrassed by it all, but it's all Ray's doing, I have to say. It has very little to do with me. We put show notes together through the day for Stadia Rokk Show. And then literally about 5 minutes before the show, Ray puts his in with who is going to be praised on the day. So I never know. Ray is a troll, says Jeff. Poor old Ant, mate. Listen, Ant, if it was me, if it was Rokk's praise, you would have already been praised. It's nothing to do with me. You've got to go and harass him. You have show notes. Oh yes, we spend a long time writing them. But then what we do is we throw them out, Clive, because at that point it's all down to the pure talent of winging it. That's how it works. I've tried writing scripts. It doesn't work for me. It's stilted, and I can quite happily talk for an hour without reading a single thing and just skimming through the news, which is, how we like to be. And it gives me an opportunity, guys, to talk to you at the same time, which is how I like it. So anyway, we've got the ducking going on with the audio. I think that sounds really cool. Wing Commander Rokk. Yeah, exactly. I love it. Clive there are 3 Team Rokk members that have been with me for almost 2 years. Queen Rach is the longest. I think she's been with me for 21 months, and Clive's been with me for 19 months. So he really is an OG Team Rokk member. Absolutely awesome. Thank you so much, my friend. Shall we whip across to see little Larry the laptop? That's newly christened Larry the laptop. I'd come up with something better if I could, honestly. So here we are. Daily Stadia news. So if you didn't see yesterday, we got told what the October Stadia Pro games are going to be, and I, for one, was blown away. Because not only did we get 6 games, which were amazing, we also got some other stuff as well, some other news. We had 4 Atari Recharge games, and we'll come on to that in a second. And we also got notification of Dragon's Legend of the Nine Realms coming. So it was an absolute chock full 2s yesterday. So what I thought we'd do, guys, rather than read through it all again, I didn't actually read through it yesterday either, I skimmed it. What I thought we'd do is we'd have a look at a trailer for each of the 6 new games that are coming, have a look at those, see what we think, and then we'll come back and we'll have a quick read through all the other stuff before moving on to more news. Leisure Suit Larry, do you remember that one, Jeff? Leisure Suit Larry. Clive will remember that one as well. That was around when we were young'uns. Fantastic. Tally says, fantastic. Clive Illenden, Wing Commander Rokk, I think he's referring to. So let's start with the very first one on their list, Arcade Paradise. Now, I have seen this played. VetCloud Gaming had it when it came out day and date. Now all of these, bearing in mind, by the way, out of the 6 games that are coming to us on October 1, only one of them is already with us as a game that you can purchase. All of the other 5 are brand new to Stadia, and a couple of them are really new. So it's absolutely awesome. So this is Arcade Paradise. As I've said, this isn't actually Vet playing it. I think this is IGN. But I've watched Vet playing it, and it is such a good game. I think there's a massive amount of actual arcade games that you can play. I think there's like maybe 30, 35 games in the actual game itself. But on top of that, you actually manage an arcade. So you're like a video arcade manager. So you've got to, deal with cleaning up and sorting out unhappy customers and making sure you've made a profit and all that kind of stuff. Really, really good game. So let's play the old trailer. I'll turn audio off, guys, because I don't know if there's any music, but we can see it, and we've got our own music with proper ducking and everything. Right, here we go. Of course, it's Wired Productions, and they've also got Martha is Dead coming as well, I believe. So here you can see this is you in the management role. It's a first-person game. So he's popped next door to do some laundretting. And there he is. And there you go. In the back of the laundrette is his little arcade. So the idea is, I think, that you kind of want to build your video arcade up into something really special. So you're no longer dependent on being a laundrette, you see. So it's actually got a proper game aspect to it, which is really cool. Obviously, it's set back in the 80s, I would guess. A Mondka. So you get to literally play the games on all of these machines. They're all proper games. Look at this. There's even a kind of dance-a-thon thing. How cool is this? What a wild month October will be. Stadia Games, Pixel 7 and the Watch. And other Google hardware. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Go from rags to riches. There you go. So it only came out August 11th, so it's relatively new. But as I've said, I've watched it played, and it was brilliant. So for me, this is perfect. I can't wait for this one. Liam, how are you, my friend? Welcome. Good to see you. Hope you had a good weekend. Of course, we're a couple of days into the week already. But what with the Monday being closed down and yesterday being Stadia Rokk Show. So next up, Drawful 2. Now this is from the guys that do the You Don't Know Jack, the games, the kind of Jack party pack games. So I'm assuming at some point it's come from one of those packs, or it's been designed for that pack. Hey William, how are you, dude? Good to see you, my friend. He's got the emojis going on. So it says the team that brought you Fibbage. I've seen it spelled as Fribbage, but I'm fairly certain it is Fibbage because it's kind of about telling fibs. Quiplash and You Don't Know Jack presents Drawful 2. This actually does look really good. Play with your friends and online in the game of terrible drawings and hilariously wrong answers. Now, I've got a couple of the old Jack packs, and I'm fairly certain this is a game in there already, but it doesn't matter, it'd be great. So let's see how this works then. Here's the official trailer for Drawful 2 without the music. Oh look, there's an owl with a bikini on. As they do. So here we go. Lots of drawings. There is a guy talking over the top, so we'll have to kind of guess what's going on. So I think you get words or phrases, sentences. Lobster dreaming of tomorrow, okay, and everybody gets a different one, so they have to guess which of the phrases your drawing pertains to, and obviously if you get it right you get points. Now, I'm guessing it probably works in a very similar way to the other Jack packs, where you can can get a code, and then you go to the web address they give you, Jackbox Games, whatever, and then you put the code in, and that links you straight into the game, so that everybody then plays on their phone or their tablet or their laptop. Doesn't really matter what device. And there you go. And this one is a 2021 according to the copyright. So this one came out last year, but an awesome game. Looking forward to that. That'll be fun. Another great one to stream with people. I'm not sure how it would work streaming, but certainly you would log in and everything happens on your local device anyway. So that's all good. Slaycation Paradise. And of course, we did a little streamette the other day of Slaycation. So you got a fairly good feel for what that looks like, but it's a pro game. It's coming in, obviously, where are we? 21. So it's about what, 9-10 days? So let's play. But yeah, you remember, basically top down, twin stick, plus a little bit of the old tower defense. So you've got to place your machine gun turrets and build walls and stuff. We played for about 50 minutes and got through the sort of early tutorial stuff. I actually thought it was good. I was mistaken in thinking that it was a co-op. I actually think it would work really, really well as a co-op, so it was a shame to discover that wasn't the case, because it isn't. It's a solo game, but it does look good. We didn't get as far as this, where we were kind of roaming around in the outskirts of some planet. But yeah, I think it's a fun game. I'm looking forward to seeing people stream it, better than me anyway. And if you like the old tower defense and the twin shooters, then you're going to love it. Carnival of Death and all that stuff. Yay, thumbs up to that, dude. The Ascent was my first completed twin stick shooter. Up until then, I'd sort of like, nah, it's not for me. And then I played The Ascent, which is not on Stadia, sadly. I wish it was, because I absolutely love that game. But I like the added humour for this one, so I think it's going to be fun. And yeah, there's lots to uncover. We only played for 50 minutes. There's lots of maps and high scores and stuff to beat. There was, if I remember rightly, there was a global score. So yeah, Slaycation coming up the end of the month. Next on that list was Tangle Tower. Unravel a thrilling mystery. The lead suspect, a shadowy figure looming over the body wielding a knife. The problem, that suspect is just a painting. Can you uncover the secrets of Tangle Tower? So let's have a look at this one then. This is your Tangle Tower. I haven't had a look at this one, so I don't know much. So here we go, Grimoire. So it's chit-chat stuff. It's an indie, I'm going to guess. We've had a couple of these recently, and they have their fans for sure. That kind of murder mystery stuff. It does have a familiar look to it. I wonder if this is from the studio. Do you remember the one? Oh no, here we go. Oh, this is interesting. It suddenly broke out into a little 8-bit thing. Do you remember the one we played recently where you had to build up a pixelated puzzle to get the shape of an image, and there was this kind of kind of crime story thing that went on before you solved each puzzle? This kind of reminds me of that, although they haven't shown that there's any of that kind of puzzle stuff going on, so there may well not be. Oh, here we go, look. Oh yes, now, aha. So yeah, I do wonder if it's the same. Hey Crow, how are you, my friend? Good to see you, dude. Thanks for dropping in. I wonder if it's the same team. I have to do some research, but that kind of a feel. But I love puzzle games. I'm playing a really good one at the moment, which is a kind of a weird, it's a bit like Control, but rather than just lots of shooting, you've got to kind of solve puzzles and stuff. But I'm loving it. It's good. So that's Tangle Tower. And then Looking for Aliens. This is number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, here we go, from Big Fish. So let's see what Looking for Aliens is about. We have had a look at this one in the past. I think it came up at a previous, either cleared by ESPRG. Yes, I remember. This looked really good. I love the look of this. This has got that kind of whole monochromatic thing. I think you have to take... It's kind of like a Where's Wally, but you have to find aliens, which is a simple content, a simple idea that I love. So I'd be up for a Where's Wally. Look, there he is. Look at that. I wonder how many aliens you have to find. And do they have to be like the ones that it's showing there at the bottom of the screen? So you have to kind of go through a whole world and find all of those different things. Do you know what? This would keep me amused for hours, if that's what it is. I think it is. I'd love this. A little Where's Wally with aliens. Nice and simple. Maybe one for the kids as well. Play it on your mobile devices. Yeah. Oh, found my slippers. Oh, hello, there was Godzilla. Love it, love it, love it, love it. This looks So there we go. They are 4. There was a 5 and there was a 6th game, which is already on Stadia. And it's this one, the Addams Family Mansion of Mayhem, I believe it's called. From our good friends at Outright Games. I actually had a little play of this. There's a trial version of this, so you can actually, if you want to, go and have a little trialette of this one. I think it's the same one. And it's a really good game. I felt that it was one of the better Outright games that I've played. I really loved the one from Ice Age. What's the little fella called? The squirrel. I liked that one. And I thought this one was excellent as well. SFB Games developed Tangle Tower and the following games: Haunt the House, Detective Grimoire, and Marching Order. Thank you, my friend. Actually, Detective Grimoire is the name of the character, I think, in this game, so they must be connected. That's worth knowing. Good detective work. Thank you there, Crow. Thank you, my friend. So yeah, this one is really, really good. This, for me, is when I played the hour or the 30-minute trial or whatever, but I thought this was probably the best Outright game that I've played. The most kind of fully formed, lots of, it breaks away from their normal engine, which you'll find in the games that are largely aimed at the very little people, the Pauls on patrol and all that stuff. This one's more complex and aimed at an older audience, so I think it would really keep certainly your 12 pluses and us occupied. So that's a super brilliant 6th game thrown into the mix. What a fantastic October it's going to be, without a shadow of a doubt. And of course, October is Halloween, so that's why we've got ourselves, no doubt, the Addams Family popped in there as well. 6 games. I have no idea what the value of these are, but for $10, which it pretty much is, isn't it, these days? In the US, it's $10, €10, and I think it's £8.99. But to be fair, where the pound is right now, I can see them whacking that up fairly shortly. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That is amazing, isn't it? Now, these 4 Atari games: Gravatar Recharged, Black Widow Recharged, Asteroids Recharged, and Breakout Recharged. These are all on Stadia now. They went live yesterday. You can purchase them. They are £8 UK, so I'm going to guess they're roughly maybe $9.99 and euros. There seems to be parity these days with euro and dollar when those prices are quoted. But here's the thing, guys. If you were watching Stadia Rokk Show yesterday, and if you weren't, don't worry, because I'm going to repeat it now, you can win all 4 of these games this Friday. So when we do our usual wheel of whatever, I've given it a new name actually. What did I call it? The Wonderful Wheel of Winners or something. But I'm giving away a copy of each of these games to one lucky individual, and it's really simple to enter. I've been playing with the initially there was a question. The good thing about the question is it does mean you've got to kind of watch the video, but I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. Murder by numbers, that could well be it, Clive. Thank you. I think that might have been the one that I was thinking of. The one with the dots that you place in the puzzle and you make a picture up and stuff. I think it was that one. Anyway, to enter this and win a copy of each of these games worth $40, all you have to do, really simple, is make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you subscribe to my co-hosts on the Stadia Rokk Show, who are Ray, William and John. And just add a comment into the video. I'm going to tell you right now where that is, so that I can make sure I can go down and see everybody that has entered. So if you go to yesterday's, not now, wait for it, yesterday's Stadia Rokk Show, which was the previous show to this one. Okay, so if you look on recent videos, it's the most recent one for Stadia Rokk Show. It's got a picture of Asteroids Recharged next to us in our boxes. And make sure you subscribe to all my friends, including obviously my good self, and then add a comment, and I will add you this Friday. If you're a Team Rokk member, you're already in. You're already in. You are always, by default, automatically entered into every giveaway. So you don't need to enter. But if you want to, I mean, it's nice if you don't follow and subscribe those guys, because, you know, bless them, they show up every week, and I just think it's lovely to show the love, and they do some great content as well. So there you go. You can win a copy of those. They look amazing. And here's some more good news, guys. Every single one of these games has a 30-minute trial. So you can play for half an hour for free without a Stadia account. You can get give a link to a friend. Give a link of every single one of these games to a friend. Give a link for every one of these 160 plus games available to play for free to your friends and say, there you go. I've totted it up. There's about 2 weeks worth of gameplay there, and it will cost you nothing. That is absolutely amazing, isn't it? Clive's been testing out these with the trials and he's loving them. Yeah, I was going to this afternoon actually, Clive, and I ran out of time with some business stuff, but I'm really looking forward to Recharged is this one. You've got one of those ships that's always dropping. You know, gravity always pulls you down, so you've got to use your boosters to kind of give yourself a little boost, get round the edges and work your way around that, getting shot. You can see your little ship there, look, right there. Little green one. You can't see my mouse, so that's irrelevant. I'll point to it. There it is. And so what you got to do is avoid getting shot and avoid hitting those things. And then when you get down there, I'm guessing Clive will know. He's played it. You probably have to shoot stuff as well. So that's awesome. And that, for me, this one reminds me so much of the kinds of games I played when I was a lad. I had a piece of kit called a Texas TI-9 4A, which was like an old cartridge system before your Nintendos and your Segas existed, and I played games like this, so I can't wait to play this one. Hey Master, how are you, buddy? Thanks for popping in. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much. So you've kind of got a mix of asteroids going on, but the key thing is making your way around these edges and these objects. So that's that one. We've also got Black Widow. Now, what I love about Black Widow is that they have an arachnophobia option. So if, like my daughter, my youngest, she's absolutely petrified of spiders, and if that's you, you can turn on the arachnophobia option, so they won't put spiders on the graphics. They'll put something else that's more cuddly, like a little snowman or something like that. Thrust, yes, that was it, Caseball. That was the game I was thinking of. Absolutely, my friend. What an awesome... It's great to have you, chat. I've got an old man's brain. Clive is a fitter young fellow than me. He's a couple of months younger than me, and he eats the most amazing stuff, and he's in top trim. My brain's gone to mush, I'm afraid. So I need you, chat, to help me out. It's absolutely amazing. Oh no, Clive came across a false widow in the garden. Oh yeah, they're horrible, mate, aren't they? They're actually quite poisonous, though, aren't they, Clive? I know they're not as bad as the old black widows, but I think they're pretty nasty, aren't they? Yeah, I've heard of them making their way across the UK. Pretty nasty stuff. Of course, as climate's changing and different places are getting either too hot or more tepid, or we're going to find that more venomous creatures from further south make their way north. So yeah, that's amazing. All these little things. Yeah, it's nasty, says Clive. You want to avoid that one. Yeah, I thought so. I had read up and they look nasty, horrible things. I did read as well, while we're on the subject of Black Widows, that apparently in Australia they've only had one death since something like, making it up, 1988, because then they introduced an anti-venom which is available in every every single city, town and village in Australia. And as long as they can get to you within a certain period of time, they can slap in this anti-venom, and it's nasty, and it's like the world's worst pain, but you don't die. So that's interesting, isn't it? So even though it's like the most toxic spider, apparently very, very few people, one in about 40 years has actually keeled over. So amazing. But anyway, if you are afraid of spiders, you don't need to worry, because you can replace it. They will. There's a little arachnophobia option. Grounded, I think, is another game which again, it's not on Stadia, but they have a similar option because there's some nasty spiders in that one, but you can switch them out. You don't need to have them. Now this one, Asteroids, this is the one that I'm so excited to play, because this takes me back to when I used to go to under 18s disco. And while the lads were showing off their stuff to the ladies, I was playing Asteroids and Space Invaders and thinking, oh, wouldn't it be cool to have one of these at home? I wonder how much it costs. Asteroids, love it, love it, love it. This is the one. Clive, has it got the same noises, the same sound effects as the old one? You know, all that kind of synth noise. Has it got that all going on? Fizzy pops and stolen ciggies. See, Clive was there. So super. I hope it has got those. I'm going to try these out later. I'm going to give these a play. Absolutely exciting. Isn't it cool? There is, as far as I'm aware, only one more recharged game that has yet to come to Stadia. So that'll be exciting to see when that one comes. And what a great relationship with Atari as well. We can only look forward to more, can't we? And then, of course, Breakout, the classic Breakout, which, you know, has everybody has had a version of this at some point or another on one of their systems, be it their phone or their tablets or their, you know, Apple Arcade or their consoles or what have you. It's just the classic game, isn't it? You know, it sort of goes back to very, very early days. Jeff, if Jeff's still in the chat, and Clive and myself will know, when we were very, very young, we had this thing called Pong, and it was literally just two white lines that went up and down on a black screen and a pixel that you had to hit, and with very basic physics, but amazing for the time, and then it would bounce off a wall and you'd have to hit it. Of course, that was the precursor to Breakout. Somebody decided, hey, what if you actually had a load of bricks that you'd smashed up and made your way through? And that's how Breakout came about. The grandfather of brick breaking games is back. Yeah, this will be awesome. So many great games to play. So you can win all of those. All we got to do is sub and leave a message. I couldn't make it any simpler for you guys, could I? Let's be honest. Also, in yesterday's twos this week on Stadia, Dreamworks Dragons, another game from Outright Games. These guys absolutely smashing it as far as Stadia. I don't know, I haven't done the numbers, but I think it works something like this. Ubisoft have got the most games on Stadia, and these guys have got the next most. I mean, they seem to just, everything that they build, they bring it to Stadia. They obviously believe in the platform, which is amazing. And they obviously also see its advantages as both a platform for casual gamers, but a platform for family gamers as well. Just amazing. Oh yes, just that missile command one to come. Yes. Yeah, now that's the one game I struggled with when I was younger. I could never, you had to, you know, as these missiles came in, it was right with the first couple, and then you had to hit them. But when there was like 10, forget it. But it was quite cool, because if you got it just right, you could wait till they converged, and then you could blow up 4 at the same time. Amazing stuff. And Crow's played Black Widow and Asteroids, great remakes. That's exciting, isn't it? It really is. Isn't it funny that we're excited about games that are, you know, 40 odd years old now, versus some of these games that have got just the most amazing work, but it's that old nostalgia stuff, isn't it? We can't help it. It's the way it goes down. Obi, how are you, my buddy? What up, bro? Great to see you. Yeah, I'm really good. Thank you, my friend. I hope you are well as well. Bless you. Thank you for popping in. Who has? Your son's got a version on the ZX81, or you have? I wish I still had my ZX. Did I have an 81? I had an 80, I think. My brother-in-law, who I met when he was 8 years old, right, because I met my wife quite young, and he had a Spectrum and an 81, so we did a lot of gaming in those days on his little kit, bless him. ZX81, yeah, 1981, literally. I had an 80. And I had a thing before that called, I think it was called Oric. But I get confused because there was the computer in Blake 7, who I think was Orac. And then the Oric. And I had this Oric thing as well. But that was I had this habit of buying kit that then kind of died and there was never any games or anything for it. And everyone else was going full on the most obvious stuff. And I never did until I finally got a Commodore 64. Oh, Clive had a ZX81. Amazing. Auric Atmos. Yes, the Auric. I love the Auric. It was a beautiful looking thing. It was like a ZX81. It was kind of the little rubber keys, but it was, if I remember rightly, it was white or grey, whereas the old ZXs were that black with the rainbow, which would be quite interesting today, wouldn't it, having that logo? Of course, another Clive, Sir Clive Sinclair, another bright fellow. He came up with the Spectrum and all that stuff, didn't he, Clive? But he's no longer with us. He passed a year or two ago, Sir Clive. He also came up with the most bizarre vehicle ever. It was like a battery-driven tricycle that you had, your legs were straight out, but because you were so low to the ground, nobody could see you, so you had to have a flag attached to the top. I think in the end it got withdrawn, but I can't remember, what was it called, Clive? What was that thing called? Anyway, our good friends at Outright Games, who one of these days will be interviewing. I need to talk to John about that. The C5, that was it, my friend. The Sinclair C5, that was the one. And I think Sir Clive's son tried to relaunch it fairly recently, didn't he? Came up with a C10 or something. Yeah, I think he got some sort of backing from Kickstarter or whatever, but I don't think it particularly did well. Saberwolf a few weeks ago. On what? On the Auric? Really? That's amazing. Oh, I'd love to go. I've been thinking about buying myself some of the old kit that I used to have, just for old times' sake, like the little old Texas, because you can still get them. My only fear is that I would get one on eBay and it would be dodgy. Look at this. Crow still has an old Pong device. Was it like the old Binatone one, Crow? Or it may have been a different name. Yes, Magnavox. So I think that was the same device, but it was under a different name, a different brand in the States. Sure, it still works. 1976, that would have been right, yeah. I was 9 years old. The Magnavox Odyssey 300 game console. There was the original Pong thing, which was like a Binatone, and it had this hideous wood effect plastic on it. And then there was another one that came out later, which had a handful of games. And I think I can't remember whether it was still black and white, but they gave you a plastic coloured piece of acetate that you could stick to your TV screen, which kind of added in some colour. Oh man, back in the day, the Atari 2600. Oh, the Lego one with the little pop-out hidden drawer where you could put cartridges and stuff. Go for it, Clive. I tell you what, that would be a cracking unboxing. That would do really well. Yeah, I have played Texas games on an emulator. They were really good as well. I mean, they took me right back. I just love to have the kit. Those lovely old keyboards. It's yellow. It has Pong, hockey, tennis, just black and white on the TV. Yeah, I think that's the one I was thinking of that came after the Pong, which makes me wonder whether Pong came out maybe 74, 75. This is the kind of stuff Clive and I used to do on our retro show, and I know we definitely covered all of this as well. So you want to check out those shows. They're still there. They're still amongst my favourite content that we've ever done. So anyway, Dreamworks Dragons, Legend of the Nine Realms. So another franchise from our friends at Outright Games, which is coming soon. I think we covered it on Stadia Rokk Show not that far back. In fact, it's available this Friday, guys. So you've only got a couple of days to wait. So that will be good. I tell you what, let's have a quick look at a trailer for it, seeing as we're doing trailers. I've got this amazing plugin. Here it is, which you can't see, actually. I just realised it's... Oh, everything's gone big on Larry. Come back, Larry. All the magic is gone. David Copperfield's going to draft me. He's going to drum me out of the magic circle. What was it called? Dragons... I've forgotten what it was called. Look at this. Honestly, my brain is awful these days. Let's copy it. It doesn't help that I was up at 4 this morning. This is like This music's like Airwolf. Doo-doo-doo. Right, let's have a look at a trailer, shall we? Doesn't matter for what. It's always going to be the same game. Awesome stuff. Look at this. Hello, Martin. How are you? I meant to say hello back up, my friend. Sorry, I got carried off. My dad gave me his Atari 2600 when I was 6 years old. Wow. Have you still got it, Martin? Because I tell you what, mate, if you've still got it and it's in decent nick, they're worth something. They are worth something. Clive would buy it off you as well, I reckon. So here we go. Here's the trailer for the Dreamworks Dragons Legends of the Nine Realms. Looks good. It's kind of got that very distinctive Outright Games look to it. One for the young'uns, of course. In the kind of age group of the Paw Patrol, I would have thought. Maybe a little bit older, but not much. So you kind of got Paw Patrol, Dragons Legends of the Nine Realms, and then you've got the Addams Family in the kind of age rating. But all of them are, perfectly fine. But in terms of the complexity of the game, those would be the sort of age ranges that I'd go with. No, it's gone, says Martin, somehow. Oh, I'd love it if I had it still. I know, this is the thing. Well, you don't know, mate, do you? You don't know back when you're a young'un. It's like, I've said it before, but I had a massive collection of comics, some edition number ones for big comics, and my mum threw them all away. She thought they were rubbish that I'd left behind when I left home. I went back to get them from the loft and they were all gone. So in the final throes of the This Week on Stadia community blog yesterday, they announced a couple of things. They announced, and we covered this again the other day, but the ability within the Explore tab of Stadia to leave your friends some little social comments, some little thumbs ups and things, which is really nice when you put your screenshots and your videos. It's nice to know that people have actually seen them. Now, I went up earlier to have a look, and I still don't have it on Stadia. And actually, we have still got... Here we go, we've still got this. I'm in the wrong account, mind you, which won't work. I think you've got to have a pro account. Well, you certainly have to have people that you follow. Yeah, even with the pro account, I couldn't see any. So yeah, it hasn't arrived in my neck of the woods, my server block just yet. But that's really a cool feature. They've been hinting at it for a little while because it had been in the APKs for the Android app, so that was good. Also, 1440p has now been rolled out pretty much everywhere for pro subscribers. Okay, so by everywhere I mean the browser. I mean the Google Chromecast and the Chromecast for Google TV, and I also think as well on the Android apps. The advantage of this is that if you don't need the full 4K, you can essentially throttle your data down. So I've got a 1440p monitor here. Now, data's not a massive issue for me, because in the UK and Europe, data is fill your boots, it's unlimited. But I know that's not always the case in other countries, particularly in the States. So instead of your 20 gig per hour, which I'll zoom in a tad so you can see this, you'll see here that it actually says 4K. Didn't actually zoom in, did it? Let's zoom in, here we go. So it says up to 4K, typically 20 gigabytes per hour, or gigabits. But 1440 drops down to 14.4, so you're saving 6 gig an hour, which if you're putting in a few hours of data, and it may not even just be your home plan, of course, it could be your mobile data plan, and certainly in most of the world there are still caps on mobile data, so that's good to know. Of course, you could drop it down to 1080 as well, or go even all the way down to 720 if you're thinking that your data is likely to get hammered. But if you've got a high-res screen or a high-res television or a mobile device for 1440, then you can use that one now, and it's everywhere, which is amazing. Must admit, says Caseball, no matter what I've bought since, nothing beats my old C64. Do you know what, Caseball, when Clive and I were doing the retro show, I bought a little mini version of the C64. Really, it was just a hard plastic case with an emulator built in. But it came with 64 games, and I did a whole stream one Saturday. Can't remember how many of them. It certainly wasn't 64, but it was a ton of them. And I can't believe I got a copyright strike on music going back to the 80s. David, how are you, dude? Hello, Rokk Show and the Stadia community. How are you all doing today? We are doing very well. Thank you so much for asking, my friend. And Martinez is in the house. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for popping in. So, yep, there you go. 1440 to help you. Now, the thing is, I've tested 4K and 1440 on my 1440 monitor, and I can honestly say I didn't see a difference, which is a good thing. So you're not missing out with 4K. That's my whole point. If you only got a 1440 capable device. So you may as well save the data and the planet, even if data's not an issue for you. It's using less energy, isn't it? Somewhere down the road, you're saving a little weed, a little tree somewhere. So it's got to be a good thing, as I see it. Yeah, I know they are, William. You can actually, use real life, proper, professional, copyrighted music on your shorts now, which I rarely do. I just wish they would bring it out for full form or long form videos as well. What they do with shorts is, instead of 55% ad revenue, which for most of us is tuppence halfpenny, you get 45%, and the other 10% goes to the copyright holder, which is kind of how it happens anyway when you get a copyright strike, but they just do it rather than telling you you've got a strike, which I think makes more sense. Or you can actually pay a license, I'm not sure how much, and you can just use it. So that's going to upset a few of the music providers out there, I guess. What's up, Rokk? Hey, Chariot Man, how are you, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. Hope you are keeping well. Middle of the week and all that stuff. There you go. Game trials. Yes, more game trials. Look at this, guys. I think there's 160 plus. Did you see how that reflects in the laptop, by the way? Look at that. Huh? Class, that is. You don't get this kind of attention to detail anywhere else, folks, do you? Look at that. It's a thing of beauty. 160 plus games. They're adding to them all the time. We've just seen those 4 recharged games, which the trial versions are up there as well. I don't know if they were there yesterday. They're definitely there today. So maybe 164. Who knows? But we've got Hitman, a 3-hour trial with Hitman. That's all I've ever played of it anyway. That's amazing. Pixel Junk Raiders, 60 minutes, an hour. That's a great indie title. Moonlighter, 60-minute trial. Epistory or Epistory, I've never got that one right. Another hour. Nanotale, another hour. Submerged Hidden Depths, an hour. And A Place for the Unwilling. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 solid hours. A full day with change there. A full working day with change to play games for nothing. That's unheard of, guys. There's nobody else out there doing anything like this. Absolutely stunning. I think as a cheapskate, because I am, I might give my family links to trial games for Christmas. And here you go. Here's 160 games to play. I won't tell them they're time limited. I think I've gone through the effort. I've gone through the effort of putting links into an email. I think that's fine. I might give them a card as well, maybe an electronic card with the links. I may do an electronic card website with all the links to all the trials, and then you guys can share it with your family and friends as a Christmas present. What an amazing idea. Merry Christmas, says William. I stopped giving Christmas cards a long time ago, mate. I'm not giving... the card's not bad, it's the price. In the UK, it costs like $3 to send a card. It's something ridiculous. Can't be doing with that. back in the day. And the scouts used to come round and do it for a flipping cookie. And now they want paying. What the hell's that all about? And of course, Ubisoft Plus, there is still the free trial for, remember, initially it was 30 days, but that was announced on September the 20th. So you've got until October the 20th. October 10th. I beg your pardon, September 10th to October 10th. So you've got about 20 days, by my reckoning. Maybe 19, somewhere around there, to get and fill your boots. Now that's enough time, in fairness, to play pretty much any decent Ubisoft game to completion, if I'm honest. But certainly it's enough. If you've been wondering what Valhalla's like, or Watch Dogs Legion, or Far Cry 6, or maybe some of the older Ubisoft games that you never played, some of the really early Assassin's Creed games, there's tons of them on Stadia, and you can sign up. You can cancel it. I think you've got to put your details in, usual details stuff. But you can, they will tell you that it's coming up, so you can cancel it if you want to. You're not going to get caught out. But yes, I think the key thing is that it's there for you, and it's going to be a good 19 to 20 days. I mean, that's hundreds of hours. Get out there, do it, guys. 240 hours worth of Ubisoft gameplay for free. Amazing stuff. So there you go. That was the twos. I knew we'd almost fill the hour with that because there was so much. I think it's one of the best twos that we've had for a long time. It's sad. I've seen people on Stadia, on Twitter, saying, oh, you know, the October games don't do it for me. And I'm thinking, are you joking? Arcade Paradise alone is worth the price of admission. Slaycation is a brand new, amazing game. Drawful 2 is a fantastic family fun game. Looking for Aliens, I actually think is going to be my favourite game. The whole Where's Wally thing. And I'm looking, and I didn't realise that Tangle Tower has got all those puzzles in, so there's a ton of great games here. Now I know they're not going to appeal to everyone, but what can Stadia do? They're giving us 6 games and Adam's Family, including Adam's Family. They're great games. Horses for courses, you're never going to appeal to everybody, are you? That's the way it goes, I guess. So there you go, that was the twos. Look at that little fella in the corner. This is my alt account. What we'll quickly do is have a look and a refresh of the screen at our friends over at Stadia Source. I don't think they covered anything that we didn't already cover. No, it's basically your Stadia Pro and your Gravatar games. So we've already covered. Stadia Dosage, they always try and do something a little different. They've got a great article running at the moment on 5 reasons that you should play Destiny 2 in 2022. Which is amazing. Pete says, Rokk, my doctor said to me today, have you got asteroids? I said, no, it's just the way I walk. Boom, boom. Oh, thank you, my friend. You reminded me. Pete, you've reminded me that Bjorn is in the house as well. Look at him. He's got his little unicorn. Good to see you, Bjorn. You reminded me. I brought something with me today, and I thought we would have a look at this just once every day. And it is, in fact, it's called Laugh on the Loo. It's a book of dad jokes, and I was literally on the loo earlier having a flick through because that's where it lives, and I found a couple of jokes that made me chuckle. Now it does actually say at the front, warning, contains adult humour, so I will need to just quickly vet these, but let's have a quick look. Well, there you go. You think I might enjoy my... Oh, no, that was rubbish. Oh, yeah, no, I'd like this one. This is a good one. This was the one I found. Here we go. We're ready. Here we go, Bjorn. So, it's 2 a.m. and a husband and wife are asleep when suddenly... Actually, I'm going to move it forward because I was thinking about this. It should be later in the day, and you'll see why. It's 9:30 in the morning, and a husband and wife somehow are asleep. They've overslept. When suddenly the phone rings, the husband picks up the phone and says, hello? How on earth should I know? What am I, a weatherman? And promptly slams the phone down. His wife rolls over and says, who was it? The husband replies, I don't know, just some man who wanted to know if the coast was clear. You see what I'm saying? These are beauties. These are beauties. We're going to do one of these a day. Laugh on the loo. The dad joke Bible. That's what that is. The coast is clear. Oh, my word. Anyway, over at Stadia Siege, 5 reasons you should play Destiny 2, which I need to read because I keep falling in and out of love with Destiny. I have to be honest with you. As you guys know, I was a massive Destiny 1 fan, and I played the I played the first 18 months, 2 years of Destiny 2. Well, when Stadia came out, actually, that was one of the go-to games that I was so excited to discover was coming out with the launch of Stadia. But just recently, it's not kind of happened for me, I'll be honest with you. Remind me, Bjorn says, tomorrow night about a joke about the liquor store. Liquor. I'm maybe already there. Anyway, that was the old Stadia dosage. So the main one is that article there. It's a good one by Tyler Shipham. I love the fact that these guys get these guest articles written as well, encouraging it in. And they pay for them, by the way. A couple of bits of little extra newsette. Resident Evil Village's third-person mode. This is interesting. The developers have said that it took as much effort as creating the actual original game. Now, this is going to be coming to Stadia. I forget. I think it's November. Did they actually say? Oh, hang on. No, it's even sooner. October 28th. There we go. I am so looking forward to this. I believe that it is free, but I may be wrong. Either way, I'm buying it when it comes out because I loved Resident Evil Village on Stadia. But once I'd finished it, I didn't really have any compelling reason to go back. But I want to play it from scratch in third person. So you get that wider view and you can see stuff from a distance and can't wait. But I thought that was interesting. The developers saying that it was as much effort for them. Because don't forget, it came out, a year ago? Maybe 2 years, I forget now. It was a while ago. So that's definitely one I'm looking forward to. Definitely. October 28th, guys. That's going to be brilliant. He'd say it now, but it's not one that translates well in text, okay? I'll remind you tomorrow. So in the last dying minutes of the hour, before we disappear, don't forget 6 o'clock, Logitech have got a stream. I think it's on YouTube. It's called Logi Play. Now, why that might be interesting to you if you're a content streamer or a gamer. Of course, they do gaming kit, keyboards, screens, cameras, the whole works. But also, you may or may not have known this, but they own Streamlabs and in turn they own Melon. I'm using OBS here, but on Stadia Rokk Show and Rock Players, I use Melon. And I'm really interested to see what they do because I personally think they're going to fold Melon back into Streamlabs, and they'll probably give us, there's a few of us who are lifetime license holders, they'll probably give us premium accounts with Streamlabs or something, but I've just been watching them do not a lot recently, and I think that's why. So let's quickly get over to the old bookmarks. Very, very quickly, we'll run through these. Philip Rodriguez says, Stadia games look great on his MacBook Pro. Of course, he's put it down to 1440 now, although I think you can get 4K MBP monitors. They're a weird shape, Apple MacBook monitors, where most screens are 16:9, they're kind of 16:10, which means they're not quite 4K, so they probably look really good as 1440. You can force them to a resolution with the old Advanced Stadia plugin, but out of the box, 1440 is going to be great. This one, nothing to do with Stadia really, but John is a Stadia fan, and he brought this article up, which is Sony saying that it admits the PS5 could be its last console. And this is something that if you follow Stadia Rokk Show or any of the big sort of news and debate shows, we've been saying for a long time that we think this current generation of the PlayStation and the Xbox are probably going to be the last big solo consoles that these guys bring out, and that they'll be looking to move towards the cloud, or at least more of a hybridized solution moving forward. Outright Games announcing there that Dragon's Legends of the Nine Realms is coming to Stadia. They're just absolutely all over Stadia, and I love them for it. I think they're based in Liverpool. And while Bjorn's in the house, I spotted this the other day. Get this one quiet. He has a show with Maurice, Ninja Guy X. Once a month, these guys are going to have a little bit of a love fest on a particular game track that they love. So Bjorn's going to be talking, by the look of it, about, flip me, what's it called? The one in space, Cosmic Cretins or whatever. And Ninja Guy X is going to be talking about his game. I'm sorry, guys, my brain, I'm absolutely fried today. But track 1 of Hear Me Out, our video game music show, will be recorded this week, edited and released sometime next week. So look out for that. There's going to be that once a month. That's a great idea, guys. And limiting it to once a month as a podcast as well, I think that's a genius idea. Edge Runners is on sale. Cyberpunk is on sale on the Stadia store. I've seen it mentioned that it's at 50% off, so make sure you get in there and pick it up if you haven't already. Don't forget, patch 1.5 is now live. Jack is doing the do as always with his amazing data. On October the 1st, Stadia will have 302 games on the platform, 303 if Combinera, which I think, Clive, is the Atari game you mentioned earlier, 175 of which have been claimable by pro subscribers. That's more than half. And 80 of which are AAA, plus or minus 5, depending on your definition. So 75 to 80 of those are AAA. That's amazing. For all those that say there are no AAA games, them's the numbers. You cannot knock them. And then just more stuff about the 1440p, the Atari games coming. Primo makes a really good point here. Friendly reminder about Google Stadia. $10, access for around 50 games if you're a pro subscriber. Every month you pay, the list grows. If only one game is good, it's still only $10. It's a good point, isn't it? If you don't like the games, cancel it. Oh, come back, Primo. You can always pick it up again, and of course any games you've played you can pick up from where you left off. You still have access to the purchased FTP, free-to-plays and trials. It's amazing, isn't it? Opera GX, I use Opera. It's a really brilliant browser if you haven't tried it out, particularly on Windows. But there is a game function which shows you all the games that are coming up soon, and Stadia is one of those options. So if you click on it, you can actually see the games that are coming up soon on Stadia. So there you go, guys. That'll do us for this week. Let us get us back there. We didn't do badly. 2 minutes over the 6. I'm happy with that. And breathe. Thursday tomorrow, and then Friday for that big giveaway, the 4 retro games from Atari, the Recharge games. Just sub the Stadia Rokk Show guys, leave a comment in the video from yesterday, and you are in the draw to win that prize. Thank you so much as always. You've been amazing, a fantastic number of you as always. I hope I've got to as many of you as I possibly could in the chat. But you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, whether it's morning, afternoon or evening. This is Rokk, and I am clocking out. See you later.